feel like a fist should come out of the screen right after that. I might have to work on that. Bracken Lambert's going to have to add that animation for us. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lowco Sports Lowdown Monday night edition. Another Manic Monday in the Lowco Sports world, because we are in the throes of basketball and wrestling season. USCB hoops off and running. 2 more Peach Belt wins over the weekend. We're going to hear from Tripp Richards here in a bit to update us on the Sand Sharks and their wins over at Middle Georgia. And I mean, that's kind of mostly it. A little hoops, a little wrestling, Sand Sharks. But we're gonna
wins over the weekend for the USCB, including a really strong, dramatic win for the women, a 3-point victory.
Yes, and they are 3-1 in the conference, boys and girls.
Yeah, great start for them. But hey, I'm doing well, surviving what has been a very cold day in the evening, below freezing in the morning, but still able to get to work in time. I am invested in this NCAA men's soccer final. Washington holding a slim 2-1 lead over NC State with 6 minutes to go. The Huskies have dominated most of the game, but the Wolfpack have found their groove the last 10 minutes or so, have been pressing. So we'll see. They've had like 3 quarters of the last 5 minutes, but they haven't been able to find the equalizer. But we will see. Some drama over in Cary, North Carolina for the NCAA men's soccer title.
I'm running on fumes, boys.
You're
I got
hot,
home.
Right?
I just came in hot from our church meeting. But I got home yesterday from spending a weekend in Ohio, seeing a bunch of family. And whether it's up to me or not, I will take some blame for the cold spell that we are having right now.
You brought it back with you?
Because I believe I did. And here is why. I boarded a plane from Akron, Canton, Ohio to Savannah yesterday. And when we were getting ready to board that plane, it was about 10 degrees. I kid you not. About -8 wind chill. And when we landed in Savannah and got picked up, by the time we got back here to Bluffton, it was about 4:15. And the temperature had dropped from 68 to about 56. And then it continued to drop and continued to drop and continued to drop. And sure enough, I think last night we were in the 20s. And so, this morning, bundled up, been bundled up all day. So my fiance and I apologize, but I think we are a part of the reason why, because I think we legitimately brought this. At least no snow.
Last. So I'll tell you what.
Unlike what we saw up north.
It's going to be a warm Christmas. It's going to get up to the mid-60s the week of Christmas next week. So
love it.
I
Yeah,
can definitely dig it because we're going to be on the beach for Christmas. We're going to be
there you go. Hopefully it's not raining. I don't think it should be though.
I don't think so. Maybe it's possible, but I think we'll be.
My brother would just be on the beach in the rain anyway. More news on them coming up later.
A lot of time on the beach anyway. I'm going to spend a lot of time sitting outside listening to the ocean and looking at the ocean. But I don't really need to go to the beach so much. I mean, I'll go out, walk on it, in the morning, in the evening, whatever. That's good. I don't need to get in the water, especially this time of year. Water's cold, bro. But glad you made it back safely to the Loco.
Thank you.
Sad that you brought this chilling weather with you. Max, how you holding up? How was your weekend on the rec front? You guys busy over there? Oh no.
Yeah, it's getting to be pretty busy. Unfortunately, out here for one of our two gyms.
With 3.5 minutes to go.
Oh wow!
What are we talking about?
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now I'm gonna have to get that game on. But I was saying, it's going to be that time of the year where we are getting right around to the start of basketball season. But the thing I hadn't mentioned to anyone here on our show was that we have been dealing with the fact that one of our gyms is currently being renovated, and so we only have one court to distribute during the week from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock every night between almost 40 teams. using one court at a time. So it's always crazy over in Beaufort nowadays. But we are getting ready. We're right around the corner from the start of our basketball season beginning, which starts, I believe, right after New Year's. So it's literally we'll have Christmas, we have New Year's, and then we get right back into the mix of things to start out the new year for basketball, and then look forward to All-Star basketball.
Yep.
What game are you watching over there, Wes? The guy you're so excited?
The men's soccer national championship.
Men's soccer.
Ah.
Yes.
And who's in that?
Actually, it's funny because I was watching the semifinals, and one of the teams is from our very, very own state of South Carolina, Furman. Was in the semifinals, and it's just unfortunately lost. But it clearly soccer runs deep here in South Carolina. Clemson.
Clemson's
national championships over the last
year. Twice in like the last 5
years. And we
so.
have great teams in North Carolina and, of course, Furman as well, which has brought out one of the best soccer players in United States soccer history. Clint Dempsey was a former Furman pal for men's soccer.
I think I knew that.
And that's how I became a big Fulham fan, is because he was a stud there for a number of years. That's, of course, the English Premier League team. But yeah, I mean, soccer's huge, and of course, we got the World Cup coming up, so it's only going to get bigger as we get closer to 2026 in terms of the excitement. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but there's nothing like this is the biggest match most of these kids will play in their lives. I mean, they're going all out for it. I mean, just tremendous athleticism and effort on both sides. I mean, there's nothing better than something like this.
Mama Grant in the house, Hampton County,
right outside the box with around 2 minutes to go. So, but I'm sorry that I interrupted the intro. Obviously, this is a local sports show, so we have a lot of local sports to talk about. And
we're almost always watching our own sports in the background while we're doing this because something's on and we got to know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got excited. It's okay. But no, Hampton County in the house, and it looks like their girls won to stay undefeated tonight against Fox Creek, and the boys lost. It seems like the football guys coming back has kind of thrown the vibes off a little bit with the boys for these first couple of games, which is kind of to be expected. So they got to kind of infiltrate those guys back into the system and stuff, and that might take a little time. But they're playing a quality team there tonight on the road, so that's good to see. They go to Allendale tomorrow, and then they got the rematch with Colleton after losing to Colleton on Friday night. Hampton boys losing to Colleton on Friday night, boys. Yeah. That's crazy work. But like I said, I think the guys coming back kind of just it messed up the rotations and kind of threw the vibes off a little bit. It'll take a little bit to get it smoothed back out, but I still think they'll be good. But we're going to talk later about some high school hoops teams. I'm not sure we're quite ready for power rankings. I'm thinking maybe something more like sold, not sold.
Yeah.
We can kind of go through some of the top teams.
I've only seen a few teams. I am going to go see on Thursday Hilton Head Prep at JP2, both guys and girls. Definitely going to take those teams for a spin again. I've only seen the Hilton Head Prep guys against May River for about 3 quarters. Last week, I was at just the girls' game, obviously, because there was wrestling going on between Battery Creek and Hilton Head, and Hilton Head looked really good. Obviously, May River. Yeah. May River looks really good on the guys' side. Hilton Head Prep is improving.
Hilton Head, though, knocking off the visitors all the way from Tasmania, Australia over the weekend.
Yeah, how about
Tasmanian Devils? Yeah, exactly. No, that's cool. I think they're stopping through May River too. At least the girls.
That's right.
Yeah, I believe
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool thing. But we'll break down all the hoops in some form or fashion, and shout out some champs from the weekend from the wrestling mats. We do have, if you're really wanting to get in the weeds, the 1L Hoops Happy Hour was last night. Fish, Robbie, and I went for about an hour and a half, and they we all flapped our yaps a lot and said a lot of things, and they've seen a lot more basketball than we have at this stage. And then we got on the grind, and I flapped my yaps some more with George Dixon and Coach Michelicci from Battery Creek and Coach Lawns from JP2, and we talked about all the wrestling you could ever want to know about in the Low Country. So you can check those out if you want to go deeper. But tonight we'll hit the highlights. This is our Sports Center, our ESPN news, so to speak. But we do have a guest to join us. Tripp Richards is going to jump in and talk USCB hoops with us after we tell you about our sponsors. The Lowdown brought to you tonight by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson Law Firm been with us since the beginning. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and they can help you with all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton. And then WHHI TV, you can find them everywhere these days, on your cable box, on your Roku, on whatever. You can rattle them all off if you want, but
I sure can.
They're our partners.
I'll do a list of them
Sports.
for the next
Where
one.
all can you get them, Marcus?
Whole bunch of places. Spectrum, Sparklight, formerly Hargray, Apple TV, Roku. That's how I get them, via Roku. Couple that are in the works. YouTube TV. Bunch of places. It's kind of like in a way.
TV now?
Wow. We've been on YouTube for a long time, actually.
On YouTube, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the live streaming and stuff. It's kind of like at my church. They say there's plenty of chances to get to church throughout the week. Plenty of chances, plenty of opportunities to catch us all here at WHHI TV. And we want to thank you guys for everything you do, JJ.
Singing, some
did a lot of that over the last couple of weeks as well, with the Hilton Head Choral Society and the Symphony Orchestra Chorus. Also, while I'm thinking of it, because you mentioned us, JJ, I saw that you did the last night in the Loco. I saw that at about 3:00. Was that meant to hit the air for WHHI today? Because I'm not sure that it did.
It was intended to, yeah.
Okay, I will make sure. I think that there was a little bit of miscommunication with possibly Jeremy and Maria. I will make sure. I'm not planning on going in tomorrow, but I will text them and Lisa and make sure that they know that
I let them know it was up.
I
communicated with Jeremy today.
Okay.
So
well, I'll even check here, but I heard differently.
It should have.
So
he took it out of the folder, so he must have got it.
We'll make sure that it's on there for sure.
Okay. But yeah, crisis. I didn't know that occurred. No one told me anything. I don't know that there was a crisis, but
and it could be me overreaching a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Want to make sure that you get your just due.
Oh no, we all good. Mark Rennick's going to be in the Ville tomorrow night for a little Jasper County showdown, and he confirms it's just the girls playing the Aussies. I wonder why the boys aren't playing them. That would be a good matchup. You saw them, Wes. That was a good matchup, right?
Yeah, it was
with the Hilton Head boys. So I would like to see May River play them.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, the little transitive to see how they do against that Australian team that Hilton had beat.
Well, the boys aren't playing them though. The boys aren't playing them, only the girls.
Wow.
Oh, it's just the girls. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
that is strange because the Hilton Head guys played the Hilton Head, played the Tasmania guys. So
I don't get it.
Not sure.
Anyway,
however,
but before we get to high school,
it was a really impressive win by the Hilton Head guys. I was quite impressed by how they played as a whole, and they started off pretty hot and just rode that momentum towards the end of that game. And I say this a lot, but don't sleep on that Shane Brown team because he has done a heck of a job with the last couple of years. The defense first mentality, but they love to score in transition, as I have pointed out in the past, and they've got some juices here. I mean, Tajay Wright, you remember him from last year. He is.
Wes, let me hit pause on you there. Let's save that for a little bit because I wanted to get Tripp in here to
let's see. We'll put that on pause and we'll talk some St. Charles.
Yeah, we'll get a little deeper because we're going to break down the hoops a little bit more after we let Tripp get to bed or whatever he likes to do at this time of night. But let's get him in here. Let's talk a little USCB Sandshark hoops with our beat writer out there, our beat reporter Tripp Richards. What's going on, man? Welcome back.
Doing well. How are you guys? The answer to the question is I'm going to go play EA Sports Road to the Masters after this. So I thought I'd fill you in. No, so yeah, great weekend, great week for the Sand Sharks, 3-1 overall. Great week for me, sports. Sand Sharks, of course, did well, but my Chargers eliminated the Chiefs. So
How about that?
My Chiefs.
There you go.
My
JJ's
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
no more of that.
We've got a rivalry
Oh,
brewing,
boy.
folks.
Oh,
Finally.
boy.
Hey, let me know when you get some of this. When you get some parade confetti. All right, just let me know.
Okay.
There you go.
That's a fair
there
point.
you go.
But back to basketball, USCB women's went 1-1 this week, putting them at 3-1 in conference play. Start off with Wednesday, 78-72 loss to Augusta at home. But honestly, not a terrible game for the Sand Sharks overall. They were given chances to win the game. They had the lead at some points. Tanaya Bowman went out after winning Player of the Week. Congratulations, and did Tanaya Bowman things. She had 22 points. The issue here is she has 4 fouls. I think when you have a player like Tanaya Bowman who gets in a situation where she's scoring, and she scores a lot from the inside, more than people might think with her size, she's got to play aggressively on both ends of the ball because she's really good in transition as well and on the fast break. And when you get to 4 fouls, it kind of limits what you're able to do comfortably.
Yep.
Defensively, and then also offensively. I think she has had her handful of charge calls called this year. So, but other than her, Lydia Gattosi with 15 points and 7 rebounds, and then Sammy Bardonaro with 13 points and 2 rebounds, and then she also fouled out. So that's another thing where you're seeing key scorers in the USCB lineup getting high number of fouls, and it's they're basketball fouls. They're not they're not lazy. You get beat, so you're fouling to keep them from getting the basket fouls. These are just tough breaks for the women's. But overall, I think Augusta, what they were able to do, if you look at the minutes, if you look at the way that they broke down their subs and everything, they had fresh bodies rotating more often and in better situations because they had the ability to with the fouls. They were able to have – I think almost every person they put in the game had a foul, just because they're able to spread out their fouls and when they wanted to do what they wanted to do and put people at the line in different situations. You had 9 players with double-digit minutes. I think 3 players with 30 minutes for them. So you had a lot of movement in who was on the floor for Augusta. Plus they had players heat up. Abercrombie had 20. I think it was 29. So
she was a problem, and Autry was a whole problem too. She was
exactly. So anytime that happens,
dribble,
it's not gonna be good for the opposing team. And the Sand Sharks, honestly, they made me very towards the end of the game. So it started coming back, and they had to foul. So
they got within 3 or 4 a couple of times.
The game's closer than 6 points, but for sure, I think that was one of the best. That's one of the more intense basketball games I've watched in the Cove, especially from the women's side.
Yep.
And then Saturday, 2 days ago, they went in and they went to Cochran, Georgia, and they beat Middle Georgia, the newest member of the Peach Belt Conference, 62-59. Actually, a really close game. And
they came back from behind to win it.
Yeah, they came back, which is the story of the Sand Sharks this year. Cardiac Sharks. I mean, if there's a team that's going to come back, it's going to be them. And you look at the box score, you're expecting to see Bardonaro, Gattosi, Bowman, but Pilote with 14
had a huge game.
Fantastic game for her. I think that's the breakout game we need. I think looking at the Sand Sharks and the way that they do things is there is not a set in stone, consistent big in that lineup. Every day's an interview. Every day's another chance to build that resume to put you in the consistent 5. And no matter, I think Pilote right now is starting to separate herself. But again, you've seen it from both. Jada Young had a great game on Wednesday, and then Pilote has it on Friday. It doesn't.
It's kind of matchup dependent. I think if the other team has a more physical back to the basket center, you're going to need Pilote and Kendrick in there a little bit more. If the other team's a little bit more face the basket and go get offensive rebounds, then you like Jada because she's not afraid to get in there and scrap for an offensive board, and she's athletic.
It's interesting because it only makes Coach Versa and Coach Brady their job harder. You game plan, but then you also game plan. You got to figure out, well, man, who's got the hot hand? Right now, and it's when two players are having great games back to back. It's like, man, this is just this doesn't get any easier, does it?
Right. Yeah.
And
I've noticed they're using a lot of people sporadically early. and then kind of tightening the rotation a little bit more down the stretch to who's kind of got it versus who's maybe a little off.
It's always a feel. It's always a feel thing. And looking at the statistics and how everything was, USCB actually percentage-wise was outshot by Middle Georgia. But the good news was USCB by volume had more shots put up than Middle Georgia, and they also shot. I mean, it also helps me shoot 16 more free throws.
Yes,
which
is something they've done consistently this year. They've gotten to the line a lot.
I mean, they're one of the best teams in the conference and possibly even the country at getting to the line, and that's what's been helping them a lot. You see it constantly. The percentage keeps going up and up, and the attempts keep going up and up. Yeah. So that's really good sign if you're a Sand Shark fan. You're planning on watching this team go on and keep moving. Especially, I mean, I think they're about to go on and play a 2-7 team, Georgia College, before heading into the break. And I think that I think Wednesday is going to be a really good opportunity for them to, keep their foot on the gas and roll into a 4-1 start, which is never happened before for the Sand Sharks, a 4-1 start in conference, and it puts them at top of the rankings. And then and you can kind of look at that preseason poll that came out that they were going to be second to last.
That would be enormous because I think, just getting in the tournament, getting in the top 8 is a big step forward. And if you go 4-1, you'll put yourself in a really good position to, have at least have some room for error going forward in terms of getting in. But obviously, when you start 4-1, you definitely would love to have bigger goals than just that. But still, I mean, tremendous start from these women, and I feel like we've seen a little bit better, like just overall play from the players that you'd expect, like a Gatosi, like a Tanabe. It's great to see everybody as a whole really start to come to form and step up, especially from player off the bench with a 14-point effort from Bree Pelote on a terrific day shooting the basketball. And he grabbed a couple of rebounds as well. And then don't forget about Janiah Hayward, who does so many great things incredibly well.
Yes.
You've got just a lot of reliable players, people that that's
they're
going to put in the work and get some.
When everybody does their role, this team is going to be dangerous, and I think that's what is really preached by Versip, and I think she's really starting to get a lot out of this team, and try to build that depth a little bit, but really you're relying on your top players, and that's Gatuzi and Tanai and Janiah. But when you get good minutes from a player like Bree, and then Madison Self, another player, you come in and get a couple of keyboards, you have a good little rotation there, and I think that's gonna really be a big factor in this USCB team, which I think is a chance to really make a big splash in this conference and compete, which they have done a good job doing so far. I'm ready for more home games because they've had a lot of road games. And that's the other thing is like they've been playing well on the road. I mean,
only
all
one
their wins have been their only loss was at home to Augusta. Go figure. They won all the road games and lost the home game. But that's a fantastic
great,
side.
That means they got. Well, you still got Lander, USCA, and Middle Georgia all coming back to your place, and those should be wins. I mean, so
absolutely
you can start stacking them up here. And Clayton State coming up next week, as well as Flagler. Is that the other one next week?
Yeah, Flagler at
Georgia College Wednesday, and then that's it until January.
Right. Yeah. Clayton's the week when we come back.
Clayton State's the week back, and then Flagler at home on the 7th. But one more before Christmas. Want to finish strong at Georgia College.
Put yourself right up there in the top third. Going into the.
It'll be a Merry Christmas indeed if they can get one more.
No, I absolutely agree. I think when we're talking about Coach Versum and what she's done in her past, it's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one comparison USCB to Purdue, obviously, but Coach Versum hasn't changed her mentality of she's a program builder.
Right.
She's a winner. She's a program builder. You got to build the program to win. And looking at their roster and what they have now, Janiah Hayward's a junior, but she's a redshirt sophomore on the court. You have Madison Self, junior, Jada, junior. I mean, Lydia Gatosi is your only senior. Sammy Bardinaro is a junior. Tanai Bowman's a junior. I don't know if I already said her. But you have a core, and then Bree Pelote's a sophomore. You have a core that's being built that has at least another year of playing with each other. And a team that plays such good defense. And believe it or not, I think defense is one of the more is probably the most chemistry-oriented part of basketball because it's all about help and switches and things like that. So, and communication, and I think that's going to really help. When on the men's basketball side, in like the grand scheme of things, when you look at teams like San Diego State a few years ago made a Final Four run on the back of the great defensive communication.
Yep.
In the years past, you've seen Syracuse have
Houston.
And Houston, like all these teams that make runs on the back of great defenses. I think USCB is primed to surprise a lot of people and make their case to why they are going to be the biggest threat to North Georgia and Columbus State. These teams that are supposed to be so much higher above them in the time to come. I think we're going to see it this year a little bit, and I think next year it's even going to get even better. I think they're going to go a step above.
Yeah, man, there's definitely real progress happening. So it's good to see. The dudes are back on track. It was a rough week last week with the illness and the injuries, and they were still shorthanded Wednesday, but got the job done against Augusta in kind of a scrappy game. And they went out and put up a big number at Middle Georgia and started to get some of the guys back in more limited roles. And looks like we're getting back toward full strength.
Let me tell you what, if you were one of those that sold your stock in the USCB men's basketball team after that poor week, don't try to buy it now because it's only more and more and more. It's only going to cost more and more and more. I never.
You have a minor in economics or something?
I'm telling you right now. I'm reading the markets. I'm reading the lines. I'm telling you, do not try to buy your stock in the Sand Sharks now.
Well, they've found a new sensation in Evan Kilminster, who stayed.
Oh my gosh.
Let me give you a little backstory on Evan Kilminster. College of Charleston transfer, big time player, played in March Madness. He is, I mean, he has played against some high level competition. You know, he last year he blew up in an exhibition game against Florida, gave them about 12. You know, it's been there. But when you're a new guy coming into a new system, you haven't played before. College of Charleston is a very interesting place because they do things a certain way. It's because they are a basketball historic school to a program that's brand spanking new. It's going to take some growing pains. And I think you're seeing him start to, shake off those pains. I mean, a double-double with 4, 10, and 5, 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he was 4 of 4 from the three-point line. So, I mean, it's there.
Those were his only field goal attempts, right? Wasn't he 4 from the field?
His only field goal attempts for threes, and he was
super
4 from them.
Yep.
His shot selection, and there's only one way to really explain this because it's not the shot selection that most coaches would say is good, but it's also so uniquely his.
Yeah.
Right.
That, you talk about the one more pass, you talk about the just getting open, like that shot is a high percentage shot for truly only him. And I think that the team and Coach Ron is starting to understand, and himself is starting to understand that he's just got to be able to play his game, and it will naturally translate into the Sand Shark and into helping the Sand Sharks game.
Yeah.
But overall
51%, which is crazy high for a guard.
Absolutely. And overall
but Dylan Lewis is shooting 55%.
And no, exactly. And with Dylan, what I like, Dylan is a meticulous player. He had 9 points against Augusta, but he had 3 blocks. Yep. Dylan is a I like to consider he's stone cold. You have no idea what is going on in the mind of Dylan Lewis when he's on the court.
Sort of unassuming out there, but I thought losing him in year 1 was just a huge blow. He just is he's just so even keeled. He's just so calm and confident out there with the handles, and he's so tough at the top of the defense, so long. But yeah, I mean, this team is taking shape, man. And Kilminster kept it going on Saturday, right?
Yeah, Kilminster with another 22 points on Saturday. I mean, just as a team, we talk about Evan, having a great game. But as a team, I mean, we had 4 players with double digits against Augusta. Of course, Evan with his 14. Lucas Platuna had 14. Dom had a double-digit game, and then Nolan also, with his first game back from his injury and illness, having a double-digit game. So, I mean, and then we had 5 players with double-digit points against Middle Georgia.
Yeah.
I think for me, with the Sand Sharks in that game against Augusta, it was a game where they knew they had to turn it up. Their backs were against the wall.
Yeah, everybody knew they had to really give everything they had because they didn't have everybody.
They just needed to get back to playing their form of basketball. And I think if you go into that locker room,
was extraordinary that night.
Their defense, I mean, they had 2 players with 3 blocks. They're also missing Kevon Price. Like
they were missing Ish in that game.
And they were missing Ish Rashid, but Kevon's a senior lead. He's the only senior on the team.
Yeah.
So I think
he's your heart and soul.
If you really pay attention to the game and you're watching it, I like to watch the body language and the things that happen with the players and the way they act. In that huddle, it wasn't just Coach Ron talking. It's a learning moment for everyone there. I mean, Coach Ron's still learning as a coach. I think if the moment you stop learning, you stop living. So I think everyone kind of understands that on the team, and and everyone steps up as a leader. It's really interesting. They say don't have too many cooks in the kitchen, but truly, I mean, this is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought Seth Cullen did a very good Kev Price impersonation. He did pull up on the dunk, by the way. I rewatched it.
I got a tech number 13.
Yeah, he got up there.
No, that was. Hey, if you ask me, somebody was definitely underneath him. He can't. It's bad if you fall down. Someone's on it.
He got his head all the way up to the white line, bro. He got way.
He had to see if he had to make sure he didn't leave anything up there.
Checking for his keys.
Exactly. And then against
they're back on track. I got a fun question for you guys.
What's
real
up?
Quick. Just how many? So you just told us about all these Sand Sharks in double figures, 4 one game, 5 the next game. How many Sand Sharks are averaging double figure scoring this season? Anybody got a guess? Without looking it up. Anyone? What if I told you it's 2?
Wow.
2 averaging double digits. That's Tom Eason and Evan
3.
Kilminster. But you have 3 averaging 9.7 or more in addition. Wow. So 5. And then 7.6, 7, 6.3, 6.4, 6.6, 5.5.
Wow.
So we're getting deep.
Right.
Israel Eatman too.
Yeah,
Goodness,
that was
played well. He played exceptionally well.
So you, as a true freshman, getting the call to be replacing a player like Kevon Price, essentially in the starting rotation. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy call, but talking to Izzy before the game and watching him warm up, it was a sense of I've been there before. Yep. Like it was, I woke up, I put my pants on, and it's like just another day.
Yeah.
Which is I was excited to see. I looked over at Zach Cullen, and I was like, I think Izzy's going to have a good game. I'm feeling it. He just looks like he's a 6th-year senior, and he's going to be drafted at this point. Like the way he's just holding himself, very similar to how like Kyle last year would warm up, and how he just stone cold. It's just another day at the office, and which Izzy, great guy. If you never had a chance to talk to him, he's willing to talk about anything. He's a great guy. Overall, one of the best people at USCB as a whole, and deserves the world. And I think he plays with that chip on his shoulder. He's like, yeah, I'm a freshman, but I'm not going to play like it today. You saw him; he was diving after every ball, chasing after rebounds. I mean, he's guarding guys that are much bigger than him.
Yeah,
and being effective,
doing the extra things that matter. Paying attention to the details.
He played a great game. Got
to do it.
Exactly.
All right, man. So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think going into after the Middle Georgia game, 93-85 win. That was another game where USCB, it was a dogfight, and in a game like that, you need a guy to heat up, and that's what happened. USCB had Evan heat up, and Middle Georgia didn't have a guy play to the level that he needed, just a solo guy. But going into Georgia College, they're not a sleeper team. They came here last year, I remember, and USCB won, and it was a good game. It was, I believe that was our whiteout game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to respond after what last year with Georgia College. But I think the men's team is playing their best basketball we've possibly seen all season. And I think that there's going to be no way to stop it. I think they're going to roll through Georgia College. And if I have to eat my words next Monday, I will, but I don't plan on it, and I don't think I will.
By the way, that's
undefeated.
Yeah. By the way, yes, and that's also a 10 a.m. Screaming Kids game. So
yeah, Education Day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume if it's a 10 o'clock start, it's an Education Day game. But
yeah, I believe so. So yeah, that's Wednesday morning. Yeah. Yep. Good times. I'm putting that on the classroom. Somebody text me and remind me. But definitely want to check that out. And then they've got Clayton State, which is struggling, and then Flagler, which will always be a battle. Flagler's tough.
Flagler's going to be Flagler's the first home game back.
Yeah.
That's right before classes kick back off. So, I hope the Cove's going to be rocking, but
yeah, we got to get the word out. People got to fill the Cove up. We got to get the high school kids out there. We got to get the marching shockwave back.
I think we just go back to good old door-to-door campaigning in Sun City, and we're just
There you go.
Are you familiar with USCB basketball? Yeah, just like that.
I'm here to tell you about the good news
of USCB basketball.
Yeah, I think that's the strategy for that.
I like it, Tripp. I like it. Well, hey, man, thanks for the update, and always good to talk with you. Keep those fins up, and we'll see you real soon.
Absolutely.
Great work, Tripp.
It's always a pleasure.
All right,
keep it up, buddy.
Thank you.
That's Tripp Richards with the USCB basketball report. Always good to talk with him. He's doing a hell of a job.
He sure is. Dude. My gosh.
He's fantastic, isn't he?
Man.
Fantastic. Great kid. Definitely caught my eye at the first game this season. I was like, who is this tall drink of water who is just vibrant and into it? And we started talking, and I was like, man, we got to get this guy on the show. So hopefully he'll be a part of Team Lowco for years to come. Max has dropped out on us. I'm guessing he's making his way back to the Bat Cave.
That's what I would think.
Bat Cave. He was on his way home from Buford. He might have lost his phone power. That happens. All these apps tracking this. Drag your phone power down. But no, talking a little hoops. We'll let you, Wes, first of all, kind of finish what you started with the Hilton Head boys. You saw them beat the Tasmanian Devils. You're telling us not to sleep on them, which is always true. It seems like they're always kind of a sleeper, but one you shouldn't sleep on. They definitely, Fish called it the best 1-2 combo in the area with Keita Smith and Tajay Wright. And then you got pieces like Ranajeski.
Smith is legit. He has some hops as well. He can shoot it from outside. But, man, Tajay Wright has really picked up a lot more from even when we saw last year. He's going to be a stud. You got Risher getting involved. Derek Ranajeski, a couple of those familiar names from that football team that just was maybe play away from the lower state championship this past year. But I'll tell you what, they take really good possessions on offense, very efficient, and they lock you down. They make you work on the defensive side of the ball. And, against a team that, they had some skill and size, coming all the way from down under in Australia. Pretty impressive showing, because that was a team that I believe knocked off Wren and potentially another, solid high school league squad in their journeys. So don't quote me on that, but I saw them. I saw what they've done. So I'm also once again surprised that May River's not playing. I believe they're the Tasmania National
Intensive Training. That's what
I
they're
looked them up
called.
on Max Prep. So yeah, Hilton Head being 61-42. That's they
lost to Rennes by 13.
They lost to
to
Rennes. Sorry,
Providence Day
they haven't they're 0-3 in the games that we've seen there. So,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, Hilton Head beat them by more than Rennes did. So that's they lost Providence Day, but still, I mean, that's
Providence Day is very good usually.
Yeah, but
no shame
yeah,
there.
I'm excited about this other team. May River is certainly looking the part, so I'm pretty high on the Sharks.
I want to see it against somebody good.
Yeah, they've played all local teams.
That's what I was
they
played Ridgeland, Whale Branch, Hardyville, HHCA, Hilton Head Prep, Whale Branch, Hardyville, JP2
100% sure because I feel like you can go a whole season and beat up on the teams that are close to you, and then when you get in the playoffs and you play a team from Myrtle Beach, and you gotta go outside and seek some other opponents. So yeah, they play Whale Branch. Then
May River is playing some Australian team.
Yeah, but that in January the 2nd, they're playing Balgoia. Interesting. Obviously it's summer down there, so there's a lot of traveling going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing. It's nothing but cupcakes on their non-region schedule.
They need
worries
to play
me a little bit.
They need to play a team from other. Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I was going to ask if you were sold on them. I'm not yet. Like I know they're good. I know they run system ball and they run it well.
I mean, in
but
terms
I'm
of
not yet sold just because I haven't seen it against like a really fast defense.
Who are they playing? They're playing in the Bluffton.
They're playing in the Creek tournament.
They're in the Creek tournament this weekend, so
you
know there's a chance we'll get to see them against somebody who can play this weekend, and that'll be a better evaluation.
Until the January.
And what I do know is they scout and study and prepare.
Yeah, they don't have anyone. They don't have anyone outside the area at all, other than the potential the Australian team, and then a couple of the teams they play in Creek.
And whoever they get in the tournament, that's it.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because I mean Bishop England always going to be solid. Hilton Head's going to be solid. Bluffton's going to be good. Colleton beat Hampton the other night. I mean, they'll sneak up on you. I think Buford's going to take belt a lot. They're very young.
I don't think
but like they're starting a freshman at point guard, I think.
Yeah.
Super young. So, but I think the rest of the league's going to be very competitive. I don't think anybody's going to run away with it.
I'll tell you what really interests me, and obviously they've picked it up a little bit. I know they lost a lot, but talking about May River, again, I saw a little over 3/4 of that May River Hilton Head Prep game from a couple of weeks ago.
Not good.
And what happened on that night was just that May River just did everything to put their presence and physicality to the prep guys. The prep guys are improved now since that game. I think they're at about 3-2 now on the year.
I don't expect anything out of Hilton Head Prep this year. I wouldn't expect a whole lot out of them. I mean, they
and Hilton Head Christian both barely got by cross. I think
definitely down years for both the guys and the girls, in my opinion, of Hilton Head Prep. The main reason that
Christian.
The main reason that I vouched for us to cover both of them, though, is because of certainly the coaching, especially with Hilton Head Prep. So we're hoping to see Prep against Bluffton in January on the 12th. But yeah, it's definitely a down year for some of those teams, and I was utterly struck with awe at what I was watching. Still very early in the year, and that's on both sides of it. Like I just said,
awe.
Still very early in the year, but something to look out for on the guys' side. And again, I've only seen a few teams thus far, but going to be changing that a big way coming up this week.
Battery Creek boys kind of fall into the same category as May River, where like, okay, we've seen it against Whale Branch and Buford. We saw them lost by 10 to Wando early. But I'm eager
I was
to see
not
what
real
they
impressed
got.
with the girls against Hilton Head.
No, the girls are
rough.
They're They're rough.
They're rough.
It's going to be
boys. On the other hand,
the Hilton Head girls impressed me.
Again, Creek tournament coming up this week. Like they're going to be playing some tougher opponents. Hopefully.
Well, Creek's got Bethesda to open. You never know what Bethesda's got.
Well, Bethesda usually brings something
but they
strong.
usually got some dudes.
If that football team is strong,
their
football team is strong.
Their football team is a wagon. Maybe I think their basketball team.
It usually follows suit. Yeah. I mean, usually if they got guys that are disciplined and bought in for football, that carries over into basketball, and they're pretty good. So I'd expect that to be a good game. But I think Creek's pretty good. I've watched some of their highlights on Beaver Zone and stuff, and seen the way they play. I mean, they play fast. They play team ball. They make the extra pass. They knock down shots. They look pretty polished. So I really hope we get Creek May River in that tournament. That would be interesting to see those guys go at it early, because I don't think they have each other on the schedule.
I'm not sold on those two teams just yet. Like I need to see more, and I hope to see some of that in this tournament. So
I mean, I can't say I'm fully sold on any boys team yet. Like
not a tournament
Hampton,
game.
A couple weird losses. Bluffton's played well against
game,
some
but a game I'm
teams.
looking forward to tomorrow. Bluffton taking on JP2.
That'll be something.
Well, and here's my thing. I think the two teams that I would be as close to sold, but I'm not sold on right now, would be Bluffton and JP2. Because I think those two teams
and May River, because May River also.
Yeah, May River. I mean, in terms of the local level, I'm not. I think are you talking about like this team could make a run?
No, I don't think anybody's on that level.
I don't think anyone's on that level.
Maybe down the road.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd put May River in that category as of now with Bluffton and JP2 for me. I still
they beat JP2 worse than Bluffton did. Just
true.
For what it's worth.
It's a good point.
I don't know. Bluffton beat them by 3. So I think those teams are all pretty even, and I think Hilton Head's probably about in that same tier. And then I think Battery Creek's probably about in that same tier. I think we have pretty good parity among the better teams, and then parity among the lesser teams, which is sad.
Colleton County's going to eventually, I think, be in that conversation.
Well, I mean, any given night they can be right now. They beat Hampton the other night. Granted, it's Hampton with some adjustment issues as they put the new guys, the football guys, back in the mix. But still, it's a big win for them.
Yeah.
And they're the kind of team. They've always been the kind of team that any given night, man, they can put it together and they can beat you. The consistency hasn't always been there, and we'll see if they can.
If the consistency is there this year.
Yeah,
I really like Hampton.
Yeah, I mean, if you can play at your highest level or close to it every time out, that's the magic.
Well, both Hampton
that's what
and Colleton,
most teams can't do at this level.
I'm very high on those two teams as of right now. I do like both of them and how they've played.
And I got to give love to my Hardyville boys, trending upward. They lost to Bridges last week. They beat them this week. Big game tomorrow night, as Mark Rennick's noted, will be on the whistle.
Bridges put up a little bit of a fight against May River last week.
Yeah, they did. A little closer than I expected.
A little closer than I was expecting.
Kind of rebuilding.
And I thought Ridgeland competed early in the Hilton Head game that I got to see at least a couple of minutes of. So I think
that's good.
I think that one should be an entertaining one between it should obviously expect to be, but two big time rivals, Ridgeland Hardyville. I mean, it's nothing like.
Oh yeah.
Any sports for today that we've seen?
I haven't seen much. I know Cross Girls beat St. Vincent's by 9. Cross Girls are one that I'm pretty well sold on, but you know how it is with them. Once they get into region, they don't see anybody.
For me, I think that's the only Skeeza team outside of JP2's teams for me that I would actually pay attention to this year. I feel as if the rest of the Skeeza is pretty down this year.
I don't know how Patrick Henry, I think, is looking okay-ish.
They're looking okay. Thomas, did I see that score correctly last?
You did. JP2 hung 103 on Thomas Hayward.
103 points in a high
school. 103 to 22, which is probably unnecessary.
That's you don't see that very often. I remember Hilton had put up triple digits one time many years ago, but different team back then. But you don't see it very often. You do not.
I mean, if you're beating somebody by 80, you shouldn't be playing them, right?
Well, with high school league has a running clock at 40 points. I thought
40, really.
Well, that's what it was in a couple days ago when Hilton Head was playing. It was once they went up by 40, they implemented a running clock.
just let it
I
go.
believe that's high school league rule.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't know that I've seen it.
Good shooting night.
I think if it got up to 40, I just went home. So I don't think I've stayed around to the end when they were up by
Probably.
40. I've seen enough of this one. I'm gonna go on home. But no, I saw
Well, I was doing the
Colleton
PA, so I had to
girls.
stay for the
Yeah, you
entirety of the
were
game.
stuck. I get it. I did see a score. Colleton girls, yeah, they lost tonight to Cane Bay, 47-38. They had a good little run, and they lost to Hampton and Cane Bay. I'll try to get back on track against Bamberg next week, but they're going to be interesting too. That girls
Yes,
region is not
just
very
backing up on that.
strong.
Yeah, so this was back in April of this year. For basketball, mercy rules approved where teams are up by more than 48 points at halftime or other point. Running clock will be put in place and will remain in effect the rest of the game.
There you go. It's
There
been
you have
your
it.
rules corner with Wes Kerr.
I will make sure Larry Jacquemont gets that tomorrow.
That's interesting.
There you go. No,
Also in
HHCA was playing
soccer,
He'll be asking me.
and from the spring in soccer, if a team is up between 5 and 9 goals at halftime, the second half will only last 15 minutes. The game will be ended if the goal differential is 10. So,
oh, good. Yeah,
there you
go. Mercy rule it. I like that. 10-0 ball game. Best rule in sports is still the 8-man football rule in Kansas. Anytime halftime or later, one team gets up by 40, ball game. Let's go home.
Game. I love that.
Hit the
We
barbecue.
used to have St. Paul's would call in about 8:15. Hey,
I wonder if that rule. I wonder if that rule would apply.
40-0. Yeah, we won 40-0 at halftime.
I wonder if that rule would apply to like flag football, girls flag football, if it ever becomes a sanctioned sport here in South Carolina high school. I hope it does too. But you would think that could be a rule to add in. Like if
word
some
on the street is it's on the short list for USCB.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm
all
as well as
in
women's wrestling.
High school league,
and that too.
Yeah,
that as well, Justin. I'm all for those two sports. But I also, because you look at Georgia's, women's flag football league is absolutely ginormous. I think they have well over 200 high schools.
It's awesome too.
And it's great.
I mean, come on, Powder Puff games every Friday. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, great. Or even like Powder Puff games on Thursday, football games on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a good alternative. To other, obviously, would that be
Everybody
in
loves
the
the Powder
was
Puff
it in the
game.
spring or
Let's
the
do it every
fall
week.
for because the thing is that
it's a good question. I think
because
it may be
there's girls soccer, softball, lacrosse. So I mean,
Georgia does it in the fall.
I think Georgia,
I would assume it'd be
Georgia
in the fall
also does softball in the fall
because there's a lot of girls sports in the spring.
Yeah, Georgia does softball,
the soccer and the softball and all that. So
screws us because we can't schedule
play
any of the Georgia schools that are like us.
Right.
We can't schedule Beach. We can't schedule, Windsor. We can't schedule any of those people, which would be good matchups for us. But we play them in baseball, but we can't play them in softball. All right, let me talk a little wrestling, boys, and then we'll get to our parting thoughts and get out of here in a timely manner. Had a ton of wrestling over the weekend, including a cool little middle school thing happening over at McCracken, which is just great to see the growth at the middle school level. But the big headline, May River winning the Dutch Forks Silver Fox Invitational by 92 points. They just dominated. Beaufort came in 10th out of 16 teams, and May River's B team finished 13th. They beat 3 teams. Stefano Calderon, Bryce Butler, Blake Butler, Henry Santee winning titles for the Sharks. Colton Freeman won one for Beaufort. And then another great highlight, Alicia Mullins. She's probably going to be a state champ at 100 pounds in the girls division, but she's also the varsity 106 for Beaufort's varsity team. She got second place, lost to Calderon from May River in the finals. She teched 2 boys on the way to the finals, and the second or one of them was her 100th career win. So she's just tremendous. Can't wait to see her in person on Wednesday and see if she can beat our guy. I already challenged him. I said, hey man, you're wrestling a girl, but she ain't a girl. Like, not when it comes to wrestling. She's a beast. So shout out to Alicia. Some other champs at the Northwood tournament. JP2's Chase LaFountain won a title along with Hilton Head's Bryce Stevenson, Cole Sowers, CJ Florencio, and Alex Florencio. Colleton County's Daniel Wilson, and Patrick Henry's Luke Sobey, also individual champs there. At the Cardinal Newman Holiday Classic, Battery Creek finished 7th among 13 teams. Theo Johnson with the title at 126. At the Effingham County Rebel Invitational, Bluffton placed 4th among 22 teams. Really good showing for them. Oscar Roman and Abraham Brown won titles. We took the Canes up to the Edisto Cougar takedown duels. We lost to Edisto, which is a really good squad. They shut us out last year in the playoffs, but we took 2 matches off them, which was awesome. Lost 66-9. Then we beat C.A. Johnson, and then we lost a crazy match against Orangeburg Wilkinson, 36-33. We had like 5 guys miss weight by less than 2 pounds, messed up our lineup, and we didn't get as many forfeits as we should have, or we would have been still wrestling against Lake City. But nonetheless, good day for Canes Wrestling. And then at the Hartsville Red Fox Rumble, Hilton Head's girls placed 2nd behind South Florence, just 21 points back. Hilton Head had 102, so pretty narrow margin. Michaela Hinchy and Jordan Moutry winning championships for the Hilton Head girls. They got a full girl squad going out, wrestling a full schedule. Just awesome to see the growth of girls wrestling in the area. And we're inching toward a full lineup of girls over at Hardyville. We almost have enough to go do a duel with somebody with just girls. So it's going to be fun to watch that grow over the years. So there's your wrestling. Let's get to some sponsors. We got the Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We're scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll be figuring out who's going to be producing that. Probably me tomorrow night. So we'll check that out with Curry Kirkpatrick, Bob Stevens, and Rich Basirico on Under the Bus, presented by Hudson Seafood House on the docks. A great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. We've got Twenge and Twombly, our personal injury attorneys in Beaufort. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service at Twenge and Twombly Personal Injury Attorneys. And HHI Windows and Doors is improving your view of the Loco. Our old friend Coach Barron hung up his whistle, focused on a new kind of screens at HHI Windows and Doors. Our wrestling sponsor is Reverence Wrestling Club, the presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Check it out for all your wrestling news from around the Loco. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Let's part, boys. Marcus, your parting thoughts?
Had a great time in Ohio. Saw a bunch of family in a very short, compressed time. Plan to go up in June, see some cousins and whatnot. And speaking of family, for the 5th time in the tried to have a dramatic way to introduce this. For the 6th time total, the 5th time with 5 nephews, I've become an uncle.
Oh,
Jacob Alden Walsh was born earlier today in New Hampshire.
Welcome, lad.
Just over 7 pounds, 7 pounds 4 ounces, 20 inches tall, 20 inches long.
Little guy.
20 inches tall, 20 inches long. And Austin, my brother, and my sister-in-law Tenley, little Finn was there to greet his baby brother as well. My mom and dad have been up in New Hampshire now for a couple of weeks and are going to be there until just after the first of the year. Her family's up there as well. And we send our love and congratulations most heartily from here in South Carolina.
Where it's warmer.
Awesome. Congrats, Unc.
Believe it or not.
Thank you.
Unc. Matt Siraj, what do you got, buddy?
Obviously a lot of stuff that went on over the past weekend. Of course, getting to see Philip Rivers play a football game again.
That was wild.
And what a game he did. I mean, they came close. I mean,
they're saying that he only came back so he can get back on that health insurance for 5 more years.
Yeah, the funniest. Here's the other thing.
Earlier
got all them babies.
I thought they had it, and then Seattle kicked a late field goal. I think they kicked 6 field goals to win that.
Had them where they wanted them. Yeah.
And the other thing is he would have been a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year, and he will not be on the clock. He won't be on the Hall of Fame until 2031 because he has come back to play. And big news, he will be starting next Monday night on Monday Night Football on ESPN nationwide against the San Francisco 49ers. Phillip Rivers will be the starter.
Here's
game
the
for
Rivers.
Yeah, Colts trying to stay in the playoff hunt. They'll need a.
They're sitting right out of it. So.
They need a miracle. What are you saying,
Yeah.
Marcus?
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I know this would be crazy, and crazier things have happened. But if he could resurrect the Colts to possibly make a deep run, we know that there are a couple of teams. Certainly, sorry to pour on, but we know Kansas City's not getting into the playoffs.
Right.
The AFC could be a little bit more open this year, maybe because of the fact that he comes back. Chances of this happening aren't great. Maybe he takes the Colts to it. Maybe he takes the Colts to the Super Bowl.
I mean,
and by gosh, they win it.
I agree with
then he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
No kidding. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with Justin here. I think the AFC you can't trust anyone right now. I mean, the Bills just beat the Patriots on Sunday, so that
a weird game too. The Patriots bolted out, and then the Bills came back. And
came back. We had a couple of those games. You know, the Broncos barely got past the Packers.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is gone.
Parsons, he's done. You know, and so you got to figure out what the Packers are going to do because
Chiefs
now
on muerto.
Well, without Micah Parsons, you know, the Packers are down in receiving core as well. They've lost a few receivers.
Yep.
So guess
Detroit's
who's sitting
all
right
of a sudden struggling now too.
Yeah, and then Carolina blew their chance this weekend after blew a golden chance to really take over the division.
Yeah, they got to win.
Just an absolute collapse.
They got to win on Sunday.
Yeah, that's basically a must win against Tampa now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, you have the ball, you're up. I mean, your defense made a big stop. You had the ball, you're up 7. You got to find a way to put a sustained drive. I just felt like they played a little conservative. And
here's the thing. Here's the thing with the NFC North is
they get swept by the Saints.
They were swept by the Saints. They swept the Falcons. They were swept by the Saints. The NFC South
you don't deserve
is a
to
complete.
Win the division to get swept by the Saints.
Well, here's the other thing, and this is what's making it very interesting in the NFC. So the Bears are now back up into the 2 seed with that win over the who was it? It was the Browns. So they're in there with the Packers loss. They're now in the 2 seed. And guess who's sniffing up the Packers' butt right now? It's the Detroit Lions. You know, even with the loss to the Rams, they are sniffing.
Well, and there's a weird scenario where if the Lions win their next 2,
the Packers
and the Bears lose one of them, and then they
seed.
play the Bears, and the Lions beat the Bears, they jump the Bears, and the Bears fall out of the playoffs.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy right now.
I'm loving every bit of it, but it's crazy. This is one of the craziest NFL seasons I have seen in a really long time.
It does seem that
especially
way.
with I don't think anyone would if anyone said that the Chiefs would not make it, the Ravens would be on life support. Although I mean, those Steelers are leading the
Dallas Cowboys are no more once again.
Tua Tagovailoa just threw his 15th interception of the season. He passes Geno Smith the most by anyone this year. So.
By the way,
maybe it's the Patriots' year too, because New England's looking really good.
You know, I don't know, but they choked yesterday. The
Bills
were good yesterday. The Bills still seem like maybe the most trustworthy team.
But another one of those teams, I had just mentioned it.
Houston's defense is
very quietly. Another one of those teams that I feel as if they need to really consider whether or not to do a rebuild or reload is the Dallas Cowboys, because they just lost their chances, whatever chance they had left. Of making
They're going to do whatever gets Jerry the most time on TV.
Jerry needs to get a GM who will piss him off.
Jerry don't want no GM. Jerry's the GM.
Right.
Jerry Jones is the GM. As long as he's living, he's going to be like
Jerry Jones going to die on that hill.
He's going to die on that hill. He'll be like 95 or something, and just still making decisions that don't help the. Dallas Cowboys
just going on the radio shows and just jabber and invite it.
He's just stupid. He's just stupid.
We're a good football team. We got good players.
You want to be a good football team? You got to have football players.
You need a new quarterback. That's what you need. You need a new freaking quarterback for that team.
I think
Dak Prescott is not the answer. He hasn't been the answer the entire time.
It's almost been like 10 years he's been the guy, and how many big games has he won?
He's the most inconsistent quarterback ever, like for the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's the last Cowboys quarterback who won a big game? Troy Aikman?
Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Romo never did. I mean, not to the
Romo
level.
never really
Oh,
did. I mean, it's Troy
yeah.
Aikman.
Yeah.
You're being real about it.
I
It's
have,
been a minute.
well, I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. He's inconsistent, and that's their
Yeah.
biggest issue. You have too good of an offense to have an inconsistent quarterback.
Well, but who
at the
wants to
helm.
go play for that guy? You know, like who wants to
Not
go be
pressure
the
to be a
quarterback in
quarterback for
Dallas
the
and
Dallas
deal with
Cowboys.
all that comes with it? Like,
True. I
don't
mean,
know
they
if
might
it's
be
worth
looking. I wouldn't put it past the Cowboys if they get high enough in the draft that they could try and take someone out of the quarterback class this year in the draft. Who that would be, I
They
don't know.
could, yeah. They
Because
could.
it's gonna be a weak quarterback class, and they got a couple good players going in for
I
quarterbacks,
mean,
but it's
Mendoza,
not
I think
overly strong.
Mendoza's got a shot to be pretty good.
I mean,
I agree.
Mendoza,
He's corny.
As much
He's
as it
corny,
pains
but
me
he's
to
smart.
say it, I
He's
agree.
he's Luck. He's Andrew Luck. He's the super genius.
yeah,
You know, like he's the super genius, kind of goofy, but just sees it and makes the throws. That's what he reminds me of.
his football mind
Yeah.
is unlike anything, and
I mean, he graduated from
and I
Cal
agree.
in
It
3
makes you.
years.
I mean I agree. Like it makes you think of Andrew Luck.
That's who
100%.
I keep thinking of. with him.
I
He's just
totally
kind
agree
of
with
silly and goofy,
Yeah, he's your
but
guy.
super smart. Like, all right. Well, Max's parting thought was like a whole breakdown of
All
the
right.
NFL.
All right.
All right, good.
Now it's for some college football. How about the South Carolina State Bulldogs? They do it again in dramatic fashion as they win the Celebration Bowl in a quadruple overtime. And an absolute
Great way to start bowl season.
Ryan Stubblefield to Jordan Smith.
They were down with 2 minutes.
And the only way they got to overtime, or I believe there was one point. I think it was either in overtime before it that Prairie View and A&M missed a field goal at the end of the game. Or actually no, it wasn't overtime. It was the second overtime rather where and that
would have been for the win.
Prairie View missed the field goal that would have won the game. But how about this? They were down 21-0 South Carolina State at the half and came back and won it. So a tremendous effort. And our boy Kayvon Chisholm, HBCU national champion.
And he had a hand in it too, because he only had 2 tackles, but one of them was a 16-yard tackle for loss strip, forced a fumble. So big time game from Kayvon. Jalen Levine, former Colleton County guy, also had 4 tackles in that game, and I'm trying to see if
look, I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this. Watching that game, that place may not have been filled at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but that place was popping, man. That place they were rocking.
Always is.
And then, by the way, from the top of the show, Washington took down NC State in golden goal. Harrison Bertos with the winner. To give the Huskies their
by the way,
national championship, and just by that thought, I wish FIFA never got rid of the golden goal because I think the reason why they got rid of it was that teams would be cautious and just play for penalty kicks and not open up, which I understand, but I don't think. I mean, we still have a bunch of penalty kick games that good at penalty kicks anyway. So I mean.
By the way, one more thing with college football, because we had already mentioned it, but we won't be on the next time this happens. 5:00 on Wednesday afternoon. Gaston Moore will be the starting quarterback for the South Florida against Old Dominion in the Cure Bowl over in Orlando, Florida. So for those of you who are big fans of the Low Country, please feel free to watch that game on Wednesday.
5:00 kickoff, Old Dominion in South Florida.
I'll be watching it for a bit. I'll be watching it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it started early, but there's some early bowl games.
Yeah,
and of course,
I'll be wrestling.
College football playoffs start this week too.
That is true. It definitely creeps up on you. It's all of a sudden, those first round games are this week. I think the one that intrigues me most is Alabama, Oklahoma. That'll be the Friday night game.
I'm so excited for that.
Miami,
game.
Texas A&M should
That's going to be a good one too.
As well. See if Tulane or James Madison could pull off an upset. So.
I don't see it either.
I don't know, but I did see a pretty funny post by James Madison the other day. I'll see if I can find it real quick, but it was pretty clever. I won't be able to find it because I don't remember. It might have been on like a fan account or something. But basically, it said, you know, like, you know, something about like the line is pretty big on the James Madison Oregon game, but don't be
22.5.
fooled. These Ducks are scrappy. Don't be surprised if they're able to hang in with the Dukes for at least the first half. I was like, that was a good little twist. I like that.
Yeah,
But
22 and
no,
a
I
half
love,
point favorites in favor of Oregon in that game. Just saying. 22 and a half point favorite.
Be an interesting matchup if they end up taking on Texas Tech.
I know Ole Miss is a really strong team, but I'm a little intrigued being that they have a new coach at the helm going into this game. I think they're going to beat Tulane, but I wouldn't be shocked if, you know, with a new coach,
I think that could go either way for Ole Miss. I mean, I think they're highly motivated to kind of prove that, hey, it wasn't him, it was us. We're the ones who went and played the games. But at the same time, I do think, you know, there's some question about the continuity and whether they're able to be as effective as they were. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Shout out to my middle school Canes. 48-28 win, boys basketball at Bridges tonight. So shout out to the middle school Canes. We got some real talent coming from the middle school next year in all sports. It's gonna be pretty exciting. That 8th grade class is pretty talented stuff. So I'll let that serve as my parting thought. And we'll see you. Some of us, well, we won't see you, but you won't see us. But you'll see the guys from Under the Bus tomorrow night on the Lowco Media Network. I will be wrestling on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I reckon we can play it by ear, see if we need a show or if we wait till Friday. Kind of settled into a Monday, Friday deal right now. It's kind of working.
I feel like that's the right call.
But,
I'll be free Friday nights because I'm taking a night off where the Holiday Classic starts on Saturday.
Now we might do a Thursday night show. That'll be opening of the Battery Creek tournament, but we'll play it by ear. We'll let y'all know about it and let your mom and them know what's going on over here on the Lowco Media Network. But that'll do it for tonight. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Tripp Richards for hopping in to update us on the Stand Sharks, boots on the ground over at USCB. And shout out to all of you who showed up to listen or watch. Thank you, Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr for riding along. For those guys, I'm Justin Jarrett. And until next time, go Lowco.